It's another week, it's another This Week in Comics, and we're in Comic Connections. We're looking at all the comics that are going to be released on the 13th of June 2018. The God of Thunder is reborn in this week's 4-issue 1 from Marvel Comics. So it's the same writer, Jason Aaron, who's been on for like a million years now. He's done great stuff through his original God of Thunder series, and then obviously we had Jane Foster as Lady Thor. Don't call her that, she was just Thor. The Odin Son returns. He is Thor. Everything's getting back to its rightful place. If you want to see Thor swinging a bloody big hammer, then this is the jumping on point for you. It's a new issue 1. Everyone's in it. There's a bit of Loki. There's some Juggernaut, which should be good fun because Juggernaut and Thor make for a good match. One you won't see in the films either. And again, it's keeping the legacy number. So it's issue 1, but it's also issue 707. So if you've been collecting Journey into Mystery and Thor for a very long time, boom. This is just as good for you as it is for the people who've never read Thor before. Here's your jumping on point. Come and get it. The big book from DC this week is Hawkman issue 1. So off the back of Scott Snyder's Metal series, they did Hawkman Found, which was the return of Hawkman. He's been gone. I have no idea where he was, but he's back. And here he is. I've always been more of a Hawk Girl person, probably because I love Justice League Unlimited. So I haven't done loads and loads of Carter Hall Hawkman stuff, but you know what, Brian Hitch is drawing it and it's got a writer on it, which is good because no offense to Brian Hitch, I'm not a huge fan of his stuff where he's writing what he's drawing. Yeah, so it looks interesting. Hawkman's back. What I like about it as well is he's back in the main DC universe. They haven't shut it off into a new age of heroes or something like that. Just Hawkman, just DC. So if you've been enjoying Metals, if you've been enjoying No Justice or Justice League, which has been a great seller for us, you might want to check out Hawkman. I think eventually it's going to tie in. It's going to be a good companion piece to that series. And you know what? A lot of you read Metals, so you might want to get on this. Let's split the pack with Magic Order issue 1. See, that was a magic pun. Splitting the pack. No. Thanks. Brilliant. That's why I do it. I've waited 29 weeks for some approval from our cameraman. So it's from Mark Millar, and he's working with the always amazing OLIVIER, who's done loads of Marvel stuff in the past. Mark Millar's very good because when he does his creator-owned stuff, he doesn't just keep it all for himself. He does give 50% of the intellectual property rights to his creative team. And apparently when he did quite well out of the Netflix deal, all his creative teams who've worked with him on any of the books that were included in the Netflix deal, they also did quite well. So Mark Millar, top man, constantly doing stuff in the industry, and you know what? He could have done a Todd McFarlane and just disappeared by now and just gone the Netflix TV route after Kick-Ass blew up. But no, he still makes good quality comics. He still believes putting out good new comics is going to be the road to new Netflix and new movies. So fair play, Mark Millar. We salute you because you give a crap about the industry still. And we'll give a crap about you by selling Magic Order. Another week, another Deadpool issue 1. So last week you all remember Deadpool issue 1. That sold out. We've got more back in. They've sold out. We're going to get more in. Don't worry. There's going to be a second print. If you want Deadpool, you'll get all the goddamn Deadpool you'll need. But this week we have Deadpool Assassin issue 1. So it's only a mini-series. It's only, I think, 5 issues. But it is drawn by Mark Bagley, who's one of my favourites because he's my first Spider-Man artist. So that kind of ages when I start reading Spider-Man, for any of you in the know. You know what? You know if you like Deadpool at this point or not. It looks very, very Ryan Reynolds-y Deadpool because, you know, we're seeing quite a lot of him out of the mask and stuff like that. Do you like Deadpool? Buy this. Don't like this? Buy last week's Deadpool. There's plenty of Deadpool. Plastic Man issue 1 from DC. It's only a 6-issue series, but it's written by the always awesome Gail Simone. I'm not a huge fan of Plastic Man as a character or Elongated Man. I go with Reed Richards if I want my floppy, bendy plastic men. What? Let's move on. Plastic Man issue 1 from Gail Simone. It's funny. That's the first thing you should take away from this. Like, Gail Simone is one of the best comedy writers in comics. She does a great job. And this already has one of my favourite panels in comics this year. Where, yeah. Is Wang good or bad? Does it still mean penis? It's a great line. I'm not going to give you any context. You don't deserve any context. But, you know, this book, it's so Wang. Did I already do this? I can't remember. If I didn't already do this, then we'll do this next week. If I did already do this, I'm going to do something else today just in case. My graphic novel pick this week is Chromanauts by Mark Millar, who we were just talking about, and Sean Murphy, who I've talked about loads when I've discussed White Knight and The Wake and all the other cool stuff he's done. I'm sure I mentioned Tokyo Ghost. Have I mentioned Tokyo Ghost? Can't remember. So this is a nice self-contained kind of like science fiction, timey travel-y thing. But you know what? It's just beautiful because Sean Murphy's art is always beautiful. It's not as kind of martial law-esque and scratchy as his Tokyo Ghost work. It's a bit more clean. Mark Millar's quite good at not overloading a page. He tries to keep the panel count down to like 4 or 5 panels at most, and he knows how to not pack a panel with too much dialogue as well. So he's really giving Sean Murphy's art a lot of room to breathe here in this book, and because it's time travel, that means you can have all sorts of awesome kind of splash pages with big ancient cities, huge tribal battles, and you know what, it's Sean Murphy, so yeah, okay, that's what I was looking for. There had to be a big American muscle car in there, and sure enough, that's what Sean Murphy's done. It's a lot of fun. I read it when it came out, but it's been so long now that I can't actually remember it. We've not had it in store for eons. Just off the back of how well Mark Millar and Sean Murphy do for us, my pick of the week is Chromanauts. So that's it for another week. I think I've covered everything. We've got some more pops in, we've got some more toys in, we've got loads of trade paperbacks in. It's actually the biggest trade paperback order we've ever had, with 150 new titles reordered or fresh into store. So we are rammed with comics at the minute. So please come and visit us, check out what we've got. Always ask for recommendations. We're happy to talk about comics. That's why we do this job. As always, comment, like and subscribe. Please share. All the titles we've discussed here can be found in any comic book shop. So we always say support your local wherever you are. If you don't have a local, we do mail order. And if you're lucky enough to be local to Banbury, then come and see us. That's what we're here for. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.